Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time you are watching this. We can't have a top 10, top 16 ranking of alt league quarterbacks coming in for the XFL without Luis Perez, right? Now, Perez originally came in at 7 in my original list, but like I said, after the release of Ryan Willis, adding in Brett Hundley, Paxton Lynch, and then Brian Scott being gone, Perez is now at 6. Perez is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks that we'll talk to. He was originally a Division II, their version of the Heisman Trophy winner, taught himself how to play quarterback, was originally a bowler, and then out of nowhere, after a camp with the Rams, after camps with the Lions, after camps with the Eagles, finds his way into the AAF as the starter and was essentially one of their poster children for that, right? Comes into the AAF, the AAF folds, but he kept that team in playoff contention if they were going to have it. The Birmingham Iron, granted, they had Trent Richardson, who I think had 12 touchdowns in that league, led the league, and obviously Birmingham does love their alt football, but Birmingham Iron was definitely one of the second best teams in the league. After that, goes into another NFL camp, gets cut, so he finds himself back on the block, goes to the New York Guardians, plays with Kevin Kilbride, and originally supposed to serve as the backup to Matt McGloin. And we see one of the biggest meltdowns with Matt McGloin in his character, everything. Because you got to remember about Matt McGloin is he did start NFL games, had a little bit of success, nothing too crazy. But McGloin also was at Penn State during the Jerry Sandusky scandal with Bill O'Brien's first year. So you would think this guy had some sort of decent leadership traits and whatnot. So with everything going on with that, Luis Perez comes in the XFL 2.0, the 2020 XFL, takes the job from McGloin, puts together some decent numbers. I think he goes 2-1, and then the league folds. Doesn't get any NFL offers, no camps. Granted, COVID kind of messed everything up. These guys weren't getting the full shot. Goes to the spring league, plays for the Jousters, puts up good numbers, adds to his legacy. I think the Jousters went into the playoffs that year for the spring league. I'm not, but that was 2021. And then 2022 comes around. 16 quarterbacks go off the board. Luis Perez isn't one of them. So the USFL missed out on this guy in the first round. And lucky enough, Ben Holmes out of Tarleton State gets hurt. And then Luis Perez leads these guys to the playoffs with DeAndre Johnson. They were the perfect complement. Throws 9 touchdowns, makes some way more athletic plays than you would think. He's got one. He throws at the Woody Branham. You would think if Pat Mahomes did that, it'd be nonstop on the on ESPN and whatnot. Catches a pass from Cameron Eccles Looper, and then leads his team to the playoffs. Gets signed by the Rams for preseason, and obviously gets cut. Doesn't really get a real opportunity. Now he's with the XFL. He's with the Vipers. Brian Scott comes in. Brian thinks he's going to be the starter. Obviously, it doesn't happen. They release Brian and they bring in Brett Hundley. So this guy, he doesn't have the strongest arm, doesn't have the most polished pedigree. He's got some of the most experience over all these leagues and these training camps and workouts he's been a part of. This gentleman taught himself how to play football watching YouTube. He's since 2000, he is one of the highest statistical rating quarterbacks for not only for the between the XFL, the UFL, the USFL, the Fall Experimental Football League, the Spring League, the 2021 Spring League. So you can't have this list without Luis. I do think he starts at some point. This guy's gonna throw passes. He's gonna contribute. I wouldn't be surprised if Vegas went to a 2 quarterback system with Jalen McClendon in him. But obviously, you bring in Brett Hundley, you allegedly pay him $200,000 for the league. Brett's going to get some nods. But you can't count out Perez. History has shown this guy will play football, and this guy will play a game manager plus style of football. He's essentially the alt football's version of Alex Smith. He's going to get you that 185 to 225, a touchdown or two, make an athletic play on the ground. Maybe catch a pass like he did from Cam Eccles Loper. But you can't beat that with a guy like Perez. And he's such a good teammate, an asset to the league because essentially it builds the brand of alt football by having a guy like Perez there. So once again, coming in at 6, Luis Perez of the Vegas Vipers. Can't wait to see him on the field, whether it be sooner rather than later, but I'm excited. Thank you guys.